hate cameras.
It's got me a trophy. One of the first things I did when I started playing these levels was I was in a very fuck you camera mood that night. I forget what else I've been playing, but whatever it was, the camera was giving me a piece of shit. So I've always... That's one of the best things about this, is that if you're playing another video game where the camera is just not helping you at all, you can literally take it out on a bunch of other cameras.
Yeah, there's... Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
That's not random.
No, it isn't. It's set for every track.
Yeah. I don't...
Yeah.
Then why even bother, I wonder?
To make it more game show-like. This is supposed to be a game show.
Oh, yeah, I know that. This
So-
is also my favorite part of this entire game.
This is pretty great, but I wouldn't call this my favorite part.
Well, at its core, Ratchet & Clank is all about the combat.
Yep.
And in games like... This wasn't the first game to introduce the arena combat. Ratchet & Clank 2 was the one that did that. But this game perfected the arena combat, and it's so much fun. I could go back and play the... whatever the Impossible Challenge was. I forget what it was called. Or whatever the highest paying, most difficult challenge was.
I think it was actually the Impossible Challenge.
Really?
I don't know.
Whatever it was called.
The Iron something. Or something like that. But yeah, the one that gave you the most money.
When I started playing
Jeez,
Future
man.
Tools, and when I started playing...
I think I just dropped my brain for a moment there.
I was wondering what was happening, like, wait, I knew there was a little bit of lag going on with HD TVs and our PVR, but I didn't think it was that bad.
It wasn't the lag. I was trying to formulate a sentence and jump at the same time.
I can't press the fire button and jump at the same time!
Well, maybe you can, but watch this. It's one then the other, unless you want to push both. This game wasn't really meant for you to have to push the jump button and the... Oh.
And the fire button at the same time? I think you're wrong.
No, this one was meant to have you push one then the other. Because they're side by side. The
I
next
guess.
game, Deadlocked, that has you having to push them both at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Well, they make it really easy for you.
They defaulted to lock strafe.
Yeah, the default to lock strafe, they make R1 fire button.
I always change the settings back to the regular settings, and then...
I did originally, and then with the rest of... When I started playing it... at first I didn't like it because I was like, oh, it's different, and this is not how I play Ratchet & Clank. And then I started playing the levels a little more, and I realized, oh, it's probably better that way.
It's designed for it, and it helps for some levels. That's why I go back and switch it back to first person for the occasional level. But for most levels, you can just do it plain old Ratchet & Clank style. Oh look, it's a Quirk Vid comic. Congratulations.
Well, this is definitely the my high point, because this is when I felt the most satisfied when I was playing the Ratchet & Clank games, was when I beat a really tough arena challenge.
Yeah, this one I believe is my favorite Ratchet & Clank game, but if I'm going to have to go with the best Ratchet & Clank game for the PlayStation 2, it's definitely the first one. It didn't have arena combat, and it wasn't quite as refined as this one, but the world seemed to flow a little bit better.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, I like the storytelling of it a little bit better than this one.
I don't know. You bring up some good points, and now I'm questioning my opinion, because I do usually rank 3 above 1. But you're right, Ratchet 1 is a very... The story flows very well, the action breaks up. That's one thing, is the levels in the later games seem to break up the action a little... not as well.
No, it's almost like this game is more about the story than it was about the action. And it's not a very story-heavy game, but they put more emphasis on it. Whereas, Whereas the first Ratchet game was all about the action. The story just sort of thrusted you into action.
That probably ended up being my most used weapon right there.
Oh yeah, that was everybody's most used weapon because it's the most versatile. It's like the blaster from the first Ratchet and Clank game.
You know, I didn't use the blaster from the first game that much.
I used the Devastator in place of the blaster because it was just so fun.
Yeah.
That was one of the best parts about the first game, was the golden weapons.
Oh yeah.
The golden Devastator. The rockets bounced and were seeking.
Yup. I think... I can't remember which one I used more, but it was probably... it's probably Devastator? Well, it depends on the level. I used the camera missiles.
Visibomb.
Visibomb, yeah.
Yeah, I used that a lot.
Visibomb for that swamp planet, the Blarg homeworld.
Yeah. That
was
one
very ineffective because the enemies all took stupid amounts of damage.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, I can either jump in there and get my ass bitten off, or I can waste all my most expensive ammo trying to kill one beast and keep moving on and hope for a vendor.
The Visibomb did actually deal more damage than the Devastator. It was like 1.5 Devastators. And the Devastator was like six or so bullets from the blaster.
Yeah, but Devastator still did... Devastator was a faster weapon. Plus, I think it had more ammo? Or right around the same amount?
They were the same. I believe they were both 20.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's... I was going to say something. Right. There was a spot on the Blarg homeworld where you actually had to use the Visibomb to get a gold bolt.
Oh yeah, I know that part. Oh, I love this weapon.
This one gets great because in its fully evolved form, it can target like 7 people.
You can basically take a room full of enemies out with one charged shot.
Yep. And this one, it hits enemies between your target and your and yourself.
Oh yeah, so you can get even more than what it.
Yeah.
So it's not as easy to use as the blaster, but it's it's easily one of the most effective weapons you have. Next to, well, the black hole gun.
Yeah, the black hole gun that's one of the reasons why this game is so great.
Oh yeah, man.
How about that, folks? He is better looking.
Do not be alarmed, Sasha. That is Ratchet.
Oh, I see you won the terror guys.
I wonder what kind of species everybody else is.
Yeah, they never go into that.
Ratchet's a Lombax. And,
Work personal log, entry 101301.
I mean, he encounters a Lombax in the second game, we think.
And revamp the Megacorp testing facility. I decided to focus my efforts on protecting the endangered creatures of the Florana jungle. But when news arrived that Dr. Nefarious had again risen to power, I knew where my true destiny lay. The training necessary to get back into tip-top shape has been exhausting. And my mind
This slideshow
overflows
is
with
quite
brilliant concepts.
interesting.
I still yearn for the bittersweet stench of my simian companions.
Ew. Ew.
The time has come to resume my duties as the greatest hero the galaxy has ever known.
That pose does not scream hero.
It kind of looks more like somewhere between what Skid McMarks is and a football player. Do they ever go into the different sports of this universe? Like, I know they have hoverboarding. They established hoverboarding and the biking. Actually, all the sports in this game seem to be in this universe are either arena combat or something along the lines of Legends of the Hidden Temple or
Wipeout.
Wipeout, yeah. Actually, I guess more people would understand Wipeout than Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah.
Or also, yeah, it's just racing or arena death course or...
Seems almost
something
like
else.
Ratchet's ship needs a tune-up, and it's passive hovering. If you do this enough at the right spot, you can actually put the nose of it into the floor, and it will get stuck.
Awesome.
I only managed to do it once, and I don't think it was on this planet.
Do the butt slam.
I don't know if you can still do that.
I thought you could.
What
They
button?
probably put... Actually, you know what?
What?
I wouldn't be surprised if they took that out just to balance the jetpack and the
I'm
copter.
pretty sure you can't do the butt slam. The butt slam was like a first game only thing.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, because that was a fun move.
I never understood why they even kept the helipack in 2 and 3, or even anything else afterwards.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. If Clank always has access to the rockets, which in the first game make a difference, then why wouldn't you just keep the rockets?
Because the helipack actually has some utility when Clank's on his own. He loses his legs when he's got the rockets, and rockets are a lot harder to predict, harder to control, because they're only really high speed. Oh, Helga is neither lady nor gentleman, apparently.
Well, she's a robot. Isn't she?
So why didn't he address Clank as well?
I don't think he even knows he exists. They have so much contradictory stuff going on in these games, but you don't mind, because it's already a very silly game.
And most of the contradictory stuff is characters like Quark himself. And he contradicts himself because that's his character. He's the most cowardly, heroic coward hero. Or something.
Behold, my brilliant plan.
Also, his brilliant plan is just throw Ratchet at whatever he sees.
Loose leaf and colored pencils.
Crayons, actually.
Really?
Uh-huh. That does not look like pencil crayon. That looks like crayon. Actually, it looks like marker.
I disagree.
Well, to be very technical, it looks like Photoshop.
Meanwhile, Ratchet will use his extensive knowledge of the Tyrannoid language and customs.
No, I think that's pencil crayon.
Pretty sure that's Photoshop is supposed to look like something.
I guess crayon would look more true. Would be more true to Quark's character.
Crayon would
But
look
to
more
me,
waxy.
that looks more like colored pencil.
Okay, crayon would look more waxy, and colored pencil would look more
That's crazy.
pencil-y.
Just might.
Oh, crayon.
That's also why I said crayon. Ah, I gotta do something. Where's that monkey?
Oh,
Give me a sensor readout on that UFO.
I chased him forever once. I might do it again.
yay! Or
You also
not.
get 1 bolt for it. If you chill out in that room long enough, they've got a lot to say.
Yeah.
Like, they got 2 hours worth of dialogue if you count the pauses between them.
It's a very entertaining 2 hours if you can find that thing. If you can find the raw audio files on the internet.
Yeah. I don't think you'll really be able to find many of them.
Oh, I think there's a way. If you can find, if people can extract, if people can extract the voices of Space Core and have him just on
You
loop.
seem to be confusing something, right? Do you know what system Portal 2 is on?
all of them except Nintendo,
Do you know what system this is on?
PlayStation 2. That hasn't stopped people from ripping stuff from games before. I can
That's-
play cartridge-based games. I can. Sometimes you can even play disc-based emulators.
Yes, there are lots of disc-based emulators out there. The Dolphin for Wii/GameCube. There's PSX and PSX2. Or something along that lines for this one. There's an Xbox emulator out there, but why would you want to emulate an Xbox?
Because playing them on Xbox 360 doesn't work.
Well, yeah, for like 2/3 of the things.
And the 2/3 that do work barely work. We played Fable and we couldn't get that opening cutscene to work.
Okay, that's Fable, but
Halo chugged like a motherfucker.
that was on his slim Xbox though. It never chugged on the original.
Really?
Yeah, we played through it a whole bunch,
That's,
and it never chugged.
that's weird.
Different hardware, different rules, really. But Halo 2 never chugged. Battlefront got Splinter Cell, that worked fine.
Damn it!
All three.
You said his name.
Just once.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going back to the vid comics because apparently this is more important than Quark's plan, according to Al.
Quark, comic episode.
It's kind of odd.
A new evil was gathering in the
Consider
shadowy swamps
Ratchet.
of Blackwater City.
He, in this game, and in subsequent games, are really big into being here.
Yep.
So, he would take a break to play video games. Seems counter. Not what is the word I'm looking for? It seems it's not the same as his character would be. He used to be.
Yeah.
Bleh, brain.
Okay. He is slowly becoming more and more of a hero, though. It actually progresses quite well as his character, because in the first game, he's a jerk and doesn't want anything to do with saving the galaxy, he just wants revenge. And then, in the end, becomes the reluctant hero and saves the galaxy by saving his own planet. And then the second game, he's relaxing in the result, like, he's got all the fame for being a hero. He's got all the fame for being a hero, but he didn't really, actually be a hero for it. He was a very reluctant hero. And so technically he gets kidnapped.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Oh, okay. In 2, it's just sort of like, well, we're here and they're paying us, so let's do this.
And that ends up saving the galaxy again. In this one,
Different galaxy, though.
yes, but in this one, he's a willing savior of the galaxy, but he still hasn't progressed completely beyond what he was, which was the unwilling savior of the galaxy.